I love that the internet and fandoms are so cyclical because I can guarantee the same conversations will come up every year, but with slightly altered arguments. My favourite debate, though, has always been the Kataang versus Zutara debate over in the Avatar fandom. It's interesting because ship wars usually last during the original airtime, and never really afterwards. I think that even the ship wars of Voltron died almost immediately after that show ended. If they do continue on after the original is finished, it's always between like two ships that were at one point canon. Not Kataang and Zutara though. That's what's baffling. There was a clear winner, and it was Kataang. For Avatar, I've never really been into the shipping side of the original show. None of the canon relationships compelled me that much, and I personally took more stake in the power of friendship route that most of the show takes. But every time this debate is brought up again, I have to say, I am more and more tempted by Zutara. I think I find a lot of the arguments against Zutara kind of silly and pointless and a little extreme. They also rely on moral standards that the characters themselves do not actually have. I was watching Princess Week's TikToks about them, and I have to agree that some fans think Katara is far more radical than she actually is. The argument against the ship being that it is like oppressor and the oppressed gives me pause for other reasons too. Mostly that fans seem okay, happy even, with Zuko being shipped with Sokka and being friends with the rest of the gang. To me, that just indicates that people view romance as sacred and precious. Aang is allowed to be friends with Zuko, despite Zuko being part of a family that committed a genocide against Aang's people. But Katara would never date the Fire Lord based on the same oppression. One of the show's main theses, if you take Zuko and Iroh as characters, is that those who do bad, even terrible things, can be rehabilitated. And they communicate this really well. Katara is a character that also supplies this message in her relationship with Zuko. In Ba Sing Se, Katara is ready to invite Zuko to their side, but he betrays her. It is this that ruins their trust and makes it harder for Katara to accept him in book 3. I do understand why people like Kataang. They're cute. I've been rewatching the series, and the first episodes solidify like their kind of like sweet little dynamic early on. However, I never really liked Katara and Aang together romantically. To me, it felt more one-sided, like siblingy. Considering Katara is our narrative character, I would have liked to have explored more of her feelings. And it felt like a couple that was formulated because they were the main boy and the main girl. That is what the writers banked on. You see it frequently in like a lot of film and TV that writers sometimes put less effort into their romances, especially when the couple is heterosexual. You know, he was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? And I think Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra both suffer with this, which is why the romances are underwhelming, even if they're kind of cute. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no intrigue. But yeah, I guess I ship Zutara now.